Hi guys, Nini here. So for this video, we're just gonna jump right into the speed build portion of it. Hi, future me here. I'm editing the video. I just finished watching the video back and I realized that the speed build portion of the video here can be a little bit dizzying to watch. I think I sped up the video a little bit too much. Things are moving very fast, so it can be very headache inducing. So if you'd like, you can skip ahead. I will write the timestamp here on the video, and I'll also add timestamps in the video itself on YouTube. So yeah, sorry about that, but I hope you will still enjoy the video, but you absolutely don't have to watch the speed build portion here. So I actually started building this house. When was it? Let me check real quick. Videos. Yeah, so the very first footage I got was from, is this real? August? Huh. Yeah, apparently I started building this house back in August of last year of 2020, and I just finished it finally like a few days ago, and it is around middle of June right now. So it's taken me like 9-10 months finishing this house. But I mean, if I just look at like the amount of hours that I spent, it was only a total of around like 12-13 hours. So it didn't take me like the full 10 months, you know. It's just I've spent like 12 hours over the past 10 months building this house. And honestly, it's not even because like the house is complicated or anything like that. I mean, the roofing was it was a bit of a pain. Before this house, I never really had any I never really tried roofing for real, because I usually just do modern house builds with like flat roofs, and so I would use just platforms and stuff. I never actually really used the roofing tool, so this was like my first attempt at real roofing. And thankfully, because as you can see here, like I'm struggling a lot trying to figure out like which roof tools to use, but thankfully, because I have a lot of experience watching a lot of speed build videos on YouTube, I kind of know some tricks in using the different roofing tools and stuff. So it wasn't as like complicated as it could have been, but it was still very challenging considering that it was still my first real attempt at roofing, but yeah. But yeah, it didn't take me like 10 months to build it, not because like it was super complicated or anything like that. It was mostly just because of laziness, to be honest. It's like, it was like, I get the thing with building in The Sims is that sometimes I'd be really motivated to build something and then I'd finish it all in one go, and then other times it would take me like so long just to finish one build, and that was the case with this. And also I felt a little bit frustrated at times because I couldn't find like a reference photo for every angle of the build. Obviously there were only like several panels from the manga and like screenshots from the anime that I could use as reference, and it didn't show, like those photos didn't show every angle of the house. So I took a lot of like creative liberty with this. I kind of just guessed how the back would look like there were no reference photos. So the front I think is pretty accurate. The roofing from the front, I tried my best to make it as accurate as possible with the tools that we have in The Sims, but other than that, like everything else is pretty much just I just kind of guessed, like especially the floor plan. There were really only like photos of the entryway and Rohan's like workroom. Those two were like the only rooms that I had a reference for. Everything else I didn't really. I also kind of just guessed, like this area right here, the one that I'm working on right now, the entryway was like the only one where I use a reference photo for, because that was the only area that had a reference photo. Because there was that one scene in the anime when like Koichi, I think his name, it's been a while since I watched or read part 4. But yeah, Koichi like visited Rohan's house, and so I found a screenshot from that scene and used that as the reference, which you guys will also see at the end when I'll show you guys like the comparison between the anime versus this build that I've done in The Sims. But yeah, honestly, the first floor, I feel like the floor plan could have been a little better, because it's just like 90% hallway now. But that's all I could do, like, because I wanted to make the entryway somewhat accurate. It left me with like very little space on the left and right of the house to add any rooms. So the right side, like from when you walk in, the right side of the house is really just like very tiny rooms. Like I added like a sort of like an extra workroom and then a bathroom at the end of the hall. But yeah, the rooms are very tiny, and then there's this like huge hallway. So it's not the best layout, but you know, that was all I could do. I could have made the house a little bigger on the sides, but I didn't want to do that, because then that means like I would have to adjust the roofing all around, and I was already pretty satisfied with the exterior. I felt like the exterior was accurate enough that I didn't want to mess up with the sizing anymore, because then I don't know, like I didn't want to mess up with the exterior at all. But yeah, as you can see here, I added like a extra like workroom thing. I don't really know what this room is, but I added the painting stand thingy, whatever it's called, and then a seating area, and that's it. It's pretty much like an extra storage / workroom. And then the kitchen there, again, no reference for that area. I kind of just did whatever I wanted and used furniture that I felt like would fit in the house. But yeah, the only room that I had like references for was the workroom, the main workroom right there, the one with the pink wallpaper in front of the kitchen. I'm pretty happy with that one, but the furniture isn't like 100% accurate, of course, because again, the options are limited in The Sims. And also, I actually made this build base game only. So if you don't have any of the packs, like I did when I first started making this house, I had like 2 packs. So I thought, well, I might as well just make it base game only instead of like base game plus the 2 packs that I have. Might as well just make it base game, because then more people would be able to download it. So that's what I did. And yeah, so it's base game only. If you don't have any of the packs, you are able to download this and see everything that there is in the house. So yeah, so I'm actually quite proud, since it is base game only. I didn't have a lot of options with the furnitures, but I tried my best. And I also here we are on the 2nd floor now, and I added like this kind of like a guest bedroom. Technically, this house could have been like a 3 or even 4 bedroom house, but instead I just made like 2 bedrooms. This one right here, the guest bedroom, and then the master bedroom. So technically Rohan's bedroom. So yeah, because I kind of imagine, if we're talking just about like, if you were to download this game in The Sims and play in it, the Sim that would be living here, I imagine to just be like a single successful Sim who don't really plan on like getting married or anything, and is just living here alone in this big house. So because of that, I felt like you don't really need another room, right? And if you really wanted to, you could convert one of the other rooms into a bedroom. So you could make this into a 4-bedroom house, like I said. I just felt like it was appropriate to just have 2 bedrooms. And even if we're talking about like Rohan himself, I feel like it fits his personality, the fact that like there's only 2 rooms, 2 bedrooms, since he's not really much of a people person. You know, I feel like he wouldn't really invite someone over to sleep in his house, you know. So 1 extra bedroom, it probably just kind of came with the house. He didn't really, bother with like making it into a guest bedroom or whatever. So yeah, that's what I imagine. But yeah, right now we're working on the master bedroom, so Rohan's bedroom. Kept things pretty simple, honestly, because there were no references. I kind of just went off like the workroom. So all the other rooms in this house, I kind of tried to match the vibe of that one room that I did have a reference for, which is the workroom. And yeah, see this room right here, the piano room I call it. This could have been a bedroom. Actually, originally I was gonna make this area into the master bedroom, but I found the piano and I thought, well, I kind of want to add this piano here now, but I feel like it's appropriate for the piano to just have its own room, and so I moved the master bedroom into the other room, and then I made that into the piano room. Yeah, and now here we are. So the yard, there was only like one view of the yard, so I also took a lot of creative liberty here. And actually, when I was looking at the opening, the anime opening, where there is that like little scene where you see like the side of Rohan's room, the intro to this video basically. I made the little intro for this video. I based that off of the anime opening, and as you can see in that opening, I did add like a wall on the side of the house because that's how it looked like in the opening. But then when I look at like reference photos of the house from like the manga and the anime, there's no wall there. So that wall with the door, they kind of just added for the opening maybe, so that it looked more interesting, because in the other photos there is no wall with a door there. So I kind of just went with I went with the reference photos. Obviously, I got a little confused when I saw that opening, when I saw the like that wall with the door, but then I double checked with the reference photos and realized there is no wall there. So I did add the wall with the door just for that opening, the little intro of this video. But the house itself, at the end, there's no wall there. That wall was just added for the purpose of recreating the anime opening. And then here in this section, this pathway here with the rocks is kind of random, honestly. It's just kind of added there. It's a pathway to nowhere. When I looked at like photos from the manga specifically, I did kind of see like a building in the back. Actually, that pathway kind of leads to the back of the house where there's a building with like a car, I think. But since we have no cars in The Sims 4, I thought, well, I'm not gonna add that building. Also, there's not enough space in the slot anyway for that. But yeah, right now, you saw earlier, I was just taking out a bunch of like paintings and stuff, trying to recreate a sign, because there is a sign in front of the house. It just says like the Kishibe household or something like that. But there is no sign like that in the base game. I think there are some in like if you have cats and dogs, there are signs that you could use, but I decided to just make my own sign out of like debug items, because I'm using base game and there are no signs that looks like that in the base game. So I had to be creative, and I used paintings. Basically, I used two paintings to make it look like it's just like a wooden sign. But yeah, I tried my best. And up here, so this attic area here, I didn't know what to put up here, so I just added like this in that like tower area. I added like a voodoo doll, because I don't know, it feels very Jojo, right? It's kind of bizarre, so I added that, and then like added some chairs, and then I also added a bunch of like paintings. I just added some. I made like my sim paint some paintings, and then I added those paintings to that top floor. Here. So I added some of that. I really like that item there. It's a nice little item. But yeah, and then I added like all these paintings that my sim made. I just put it on the wall right there. So it's just kind of like a storage area, I guess. So earlier when I was talking about the wall with the door, I was talking about the wall right here. See, this is the side of the house, right? In the opening of the anime, you'll see that he's sitting like on that chair and table right there, and there's like a wall behind it. But then when I looked at reference photos, there was no wall behind that. I don't know, it's kind of confusing, but I went with the photos from the anime and the manga. But yeah, this is the house. Let's just go inside the house. So the first floor here on the left side is the Rohan workroom. So this part is, I think, pretty accurate, except for the bookcase. So he has like an A-frame bookcase on this wall, but there is no A-frame bookcase in The Sims that looks like that. So I just used two of these. Well, I guess you could kind of call these A-frame bookcases as well, but it looks a little different. But this side I'm pretty happy with. In the photo, you could see that like there's, you know, all the windows, and he had blinds over them, and then the table is like right here. So this part is pretty accurate. This part of the room though, I didn't know how it looks like, so I kind of just made this into a little sitting area. I guess this is also kind of like a living room area thing. I don't know, there was no references for that, so I just did whatever with that section. And then there's the kitchen right here. It's just a kitchen, nothing too special. And then this is what I mean when like the right side is very skinny, because like the hallway is huge, right? But that's just how it looks like in the photos. So that's what I did here, but it left me with very little space on the right side, so I didn't really know what to do. So I made this one into just kind of like a hallway leading into the side door that takes you out here to the chest area, the iconic chest table right there. This room I just made into a bathroom because, well, bathrooms don't need to be large, right? And we needed a bathroom on the first floor anyway. And then this room I made into like another like painting room slash seating area. And then you go up to the top floor, and it is this like landing area is open from the bottom, because there is a scene in the anime, like the stand that like attaches onto like Rohan's back. In that episode, you could see him, there's a scene where he like walks around on like the top floor. So I kind of used that as the reference. You could see in that scene that like the landing area is open to the bottom, so I made it like that too here. And in the second floor here, we've got a few rooms. This one definitely could have been turned into a bedroom. This one also could have been turned into another bedroom, but I just made them into like some random rooms. And then this is the extra like guest room, I guess you could call it. It's just a room with a single bed there, and then the bathroom, the one and only. Wait a second. I just realized that I didn't add like a door into this bathroom. It's the one and only door is this one from the master bed. So I guess if you were to have a sim living in this room, they would need to go to this bathroom right here, which I guess is fine. It's not even that far anyway, but that is kind of an oversight there. But yeah, this is the master bedroom, so I guess this is where Rohan would be living in. You know, it matches his style. There's like two wardrobes here, two mirrors, two of everything. And then we have like the attic space right here, which you could only get up from the master bedroom as well. So it's kind of like a secret area. But yeah, it's just like an extra room. You could even make this into a bedroom if you really wanted to. But yeah, that is the house. Again, like I said, I took a lot of creative liberties here. It's not 100% accurate. From the front, I think it's pretty accurate. This house is up on the gallery under my origin ID, Sorry Sky, S-A-R-I-E Sky. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and hopefully I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.